Good afternoon, ladies. Today we are Kazuri with Bianca Rennison. As I said yesterday on my previous videos, next few weeks I will be doing videos and interviews with gorgeous women such as Bianca Rennison, who is in business, who is singers, who is Mrs. Mpumalanga, or used to be Mrs. Mpumalanga, about getting behind their mask and what authenticity means to them. So Bianca, very welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So tell me, you are a mother of a little girl, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and she actually turned 6 today. So yeah.
Happy birthday for your
Oh,
daughter.
thank you so much. Thank you.
And then tell me, you do recruiting as well. We chatted a bit before the time and you said that's where yours and the angels. Explain to me, why would you say you're an angel in the recruiting industry?
I think what's going on in the economy today in South Africa, it's quite stressful, and you get a lot of families that lose hope because there's no work opportunities. And I think when you're in recruitment, you play a big role in their lives. You give hope, you give advice, and you train people how to be interview ready and just to give that bit extra to secure you a job in South Africa. So I always believe, when you go for an interview, God has a goal and He knows where you are on your way, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I'm there to give you advice. I'm there to just give you that hope that it's going to be okay and everyone has a place in the sun at the end of the day.
Leading you with God's hand.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. Yes.
It falls right in with our motto, let God lead.
Yes, exactly. No, definitely.
Tell me, Bianca, you are former Mrs. Mpumalanga. What were your challenges that you faced as Mrs. Mpumalanga?
I definitely think it's the pressure of society. I think it's the world's idea of being a perfect woman, and I think there's no such thing as being perfect. I think we all have our imperfections, we all have our struggles daily, financially, and even in family time. And I think it was, you had to be this popular, you had to be wealthy, you had to be the perfect figure, the perfect everything. And as we all know, that's the one thing we actually face. That's a big problem we're all facing at the moment. It's, I think we've got this big responsibility of being perfect all the time, that we don't live our lives to our fullest. So that was definitely one part of it. And then also the support. I think support from women. I think that's a big thing, is jealousy amongst women. And it's actually so sad because God created us to support one another, to uplift one another. And I mean, if you get somebody that's gorgeous, don't be shy, give a compliment. I think why did God create a word of a compliment if we're not giving it out to each other?
Yes.
So definitely yes, and I think it definitely, if you look at wealth, you had everything. You have to have the car, you have to have the clothes, you have to have everything to make you the perfect person. Yes, and I think we must break that stigma of obviously not achieving that expectations of what the world wants us to be.
Yes. Tell me, and the upside, what did you enjoy the glamorous side? What did you absolutely love about it?
Yeah, obviously every woman likes being pampered and you want to feel gorgeous all the way. But I also think it's meeting new people, and I had an opportunity to motivate younger girls, which is nice because I think everything starts with you. If you motivate them and you actually walk with them through life, it actually gives them the confidence of accepting who they are and living a freeful life and just exploring themselves. And yeah, it's definitely networking with a lot of women, seeing what they're facing in their everyday life, and that's what I experienced. And definitely helping my community. That was really great. It's sad as well because you see the struggles in the communities, and which is not a nice thing to see, but it all starts with education and motivating these youngsters to actually be who they want to be.
Yeah, you were busy with all the charities. I
Yes.
saw you all the time running around.
Yes.
Okay, and then I quickly what would you say? This is the first question I actually wanted to ask you just now. What would you say with all this like Mrs. Mpumalanga and Mrs. South Africa, or what would you say? What would you like to change? You said there was this whole stigma. You had to have the perfect look, the perfect car, the perfect. Would you you suggest that they change it into a way where you can basically, because I know in the beginning of the year they said on Jacaranda that they want any woman can be Mrs. Mpumalanga. Would you suggest that, or would you say no, it's only the beauty queens that should be Mrs. Mpumalanga?
No, definitely
what
not.
Would you say it's all about?
I would definitely change. I think like Mrs. South Africa, it's a brilliant platform for women to obviously be there, make a difference. But I also believe that they stick to the perfect idea of a woman, and I think that should be broken. Because now, if for example, if somebody that's overweight wants to enter, the first thing is, which we saw with Miss South Africa, they actually take you through a weight loss journey to actually say that you have to be perfect and you have to be this figure to go on the ramp, which, you know, I believe that everyone's perfectly made at the end of the day, and everyone should have that opportunity, because at the end of the day it also builds your confidence. You learn about yourself, you then feel comfortable in your own skin. And most pageants, at the end of the day, you walk out and you feel uncomfortable being you, because you weren't the perfect person they expected you to be. So definitely there is things that you want to change. It's a brilliant platform, like I said, because you can make a difference in the community. You learn about yourself, but then it also, you need to be yourself. They should not actually tell you what you have to be at the end of the day. Yes,
we're all perfect with our own imperfections.
Exactly.
That's what makes us perfect.
No, definitely.
So what does it mean for you when I ask you what is an authentic woman for you? What would you say?
Well, it's definitely somebody that's compassionate, somebody that's not feeling guilty about loving herself, being herself, and it's somebody that, you know, just walks around their own skin feeling comfortable with you and what they are. And I think also, you know, if you believe in your religion and you believe in God, you would know that, you know, confidence is key, and that can go a long way, because like I keep on going back, God makes us unique in our own ways, and in that way, you know, you selfishly love yourself, and there you can actually love and you can give compliments. But once you've actually accepted who you are, and if you're comfortable, then you can actually go out and give back to others.
Okay, perfect. And what would you say most women, what is the mask most women hides behind in today's life?
I definitely believe that it's the lack of self-confidence. It goes a long way. You know, when I started out with my journey, I was actually very shy. I was very shy, and I believe that, you know, I wasn't able to actually compete in a competition because I wasn't worthy of the title. I didn't have the power and the authority, and like I said, money plays a big role, and, you know, just being the perfect figure and having life just perfectly. So that self-doubt, I think the devil sits on your shoulder and say, well, you're not good enough. And the first year I entered Mrs. Mpumalanga, I didn't even end up in the top 5. And I thought, you know what, let me enter again. Maybe the second time around, I thought, okay, you know, the devil had this say, and he thought, okay, well, that's obviously true. The second year when I entered, you know, that's when I was crowned Mrs. Mpumalanga, and I thought, okay, I don't understand. There's so many beautiful women. They all were unique. They all gave back. You know, what makes me different? And I actually analyzed it, and I thought, you know, during that period of time when I thought I wasn't worthy of the title, I went through a process of accepting who I was and just being comfortable. And at the end of the day, I left it in God's hand, because I knew at that time I wasn't ready. And I think God then said, you know, just be patient. It will come when it was the right time. And then it was. And I mean, from there it was just amazing.
Yeah, let God lead is the...
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's the most important, and then you'll achieve whatever needs to be achieved. Would you say you're an authentic woman?
Definitely, yes. If you asked me this question about 2 years ago, I definitely wouldn't have said yes.
So.
But during the process, it's a process that you go through, and I think, like I said, if you accept who you are, then you'll find confidence, and you'll find that you are worthy of anything, and you can achieve anything, and you mustn't let society actually pin that in your brain that, you know, you're not good enough and you won't be able to achieve anything. Just take, I think once you've took that first step to achieving it, then the rest will follow.
Awesome. Then here comes this trick question, and this is most people hate this question, is would you say you're still hiding behind the mask, or have you removed your mask?
That is quite a difficult question. And I think on my way here, I said to my husband, what am I going to answer when you ask me this question? And I thought about it, and I thought, okay, I think definitely you still have a mask. I think there's not really one day that you can say that you've removed all masks and you're 100% clear that there's nothing behind, because one day you face a brilliant day and the second day you face a day where you're sad and you're overwhelmed by life in general. And I think if I talk about life in general, it's the pressure of society, being a perfect mom, being a perfect wife, and just everything that goes with it. But also, it's a 50-50 question.
you want to answer it, but you don't really.
Yes.
It makes you very vulnerable to actually be truly authentic. I said previously when I introduced, my husband always tells me, you're putting yourself in a very difficult position because you need to make yourself vulnerable to enable other women to also become vulnerable.
Yes.
Do you think it's a bad thing being vulnerable, or what is your opinion?
Not necessarily. I think it gives you room for growth, and that's also where you discover yourself more and more every day. But I think once that first step of achieving taking off the mask is achieved, then everything else will follow. And that, I think everything, the organizational and the how do I put this? I think your purpose, the purpose of this platform is actually showing women that it's okay. It's okay to fear. It's okay to be vulnerable to whatever you're facing in life, but it's how you can actually motivate and empower one another to overcome it. I think that's the main purpose of this platform.
You've put it right on the dot there. Then I'm going to ask you, you've said now you still have, it's a 50-50 situation, being the perfect mom, being the perfect wife. What would you say is the mask you're hiding behind?
Yes. It's definitely self-doubt. It's definitely a mask that is, it's quite a interesting thing to actually go into, but definitely self-doubt is a mask that I'm struggling with, and it's a thing that you have to battle with. But also think self-doubt is, it comes to uncertainty where you want to be and where you want to go and what you want to achieve. But I think that's
your biggest mask.
That's my biggest mask.
An obstacle.
Obstacle, yes. But I think once I've overcome this obstacle, I can move forward, and it's again, you actually learn yourself. This is something that can pop up now, because it's something that I thought about and I thought I'm okay with it, but then it pops up. But like I said, this is now a great platform to actually go and analyze why is this now appearing and what can I do. And I think also with the women that's going to join the organization, it's about motivating one another and actually overcoming this obstacle in our life. Yes.
I feel that we as women need to stand together as a unity. We're actually very strong. Species, if you want to put it that way. But I think we as women pushes each other down too much, where it's much easier to help somebody up on a table in a storm where it is to try and keep them down. I think if we, and this is what Authentic Women is all about as well, is to be able to help one another, each other, to overcome an obstacle, to overcome whatever your mask is. And if I can't do it, I'm sure there's somebody in the group that will be able to do that. And that is, so you hit it right down on the point. It is there to help and inspire and motivate women. So for the fun part is, what is your biggest dream? This is just a fun fact for everybody out there. What have you always wanted to do?
Well, I think if my husband was here, he would probably laugh at me. But I always said to him, I want the opportunity to go to Egypt, and then I'll live myself in the moment. I'll be like Cleopatra. I'll have the white dress and the gold beads and everything else, just to live myself in that moment. I think when you watch a movie and you see the different cultures, that's something I want to experience. So that's definitely my biggest dream, is going to Egypt and being a real Cleopatra.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Well, it is lovely. Thank you very much for taking your time and doing the interview with us, and then we're looking forward to seeing you at our event.
Thank you so
I
much.
hope.
Yes, I definitely will. Thank you for the opportunity.
And then guys, thank you for tuning in and looking at our video. You guys can follow us on Authentic Women on Facebook or on Instagram and Twitter. And then I hope to see you all at Kazuri the 3rd of October at 6 o'clock for 6:30. The entrance is 150 Rand and it includes a lovely sherry with canapes. Thank you very much guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.